Hello, welcome to Me and My Golf. We are here at Royal Birkdale where the Open starts tomorrow. We're doing a Q&A for you guys. Loads of great questions coming up, Piers.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to be talking about playing in the wind, putting in the wind, slowing down swing speeds. Maybe, maybe not. Guys, you're going to enjoy this. Let's take charge of your game. So Andy, we're on the 18th tee at Birkdale. Thanks to TaylorMade for setting this up. We've done some videos for them as well. Make sure you check those out. Now Andy, we're talking loads of questions about the Open, but also got some other questions as well. So the first one, I know you're going to enjoy this one. How do you slow your swing speed down but still hit the ball far? Okay,
well you don't. That is the answer to that question. Look, this is a common thing that people think. They watch these pros and they go, it looks so slow. Now I think the difference is they have some very high swing speeds, and you need high swing speeds to create distance. Now, why it looks so slow, it's the tempo. Now what I'm guessing that he's struggling with is this fast tempo, not too fast a swing speed. So what we want to do is create a better tempo. So think about this. We often see that a fast tempo, Pierce, is a result of a poor turn and a poor transition.
Correct.
So these best players in the world, we know they've got fantastic timing. They have this nice wind up and turn on the way back. They have this transition where they use the lower body and pass the energy onto the golf club in this order. So the speed gradually builds up until we get to impact. Yep. Now look at the difference in these two swings. I'm going to go with the fast tempo and an average swing speed.
Yep.
Okay, so hardly any turn and no transition. So we'll look at the difference on this one. I'm actually going to swing this faster but a slower tempo. So turn with the transition. So the tempo is much slower. It looks slower, but the club head is traveling faster.
Guaranteed.
And if you can involve that into your golf swing, so if you're thinking it's too fast, it's probably because you're not creating the turn and you haven't got this transition. If you get those two involved, the swing speed will probably go up and the tempo is going to be much better. You're
going to hit one? I see you smash one down the 18th here. You've got to hit it between the bunkers here. Okay. It's a bit tighter than the Asprey on the 10th.
This is no problem at all, Pierce. Here we go. Good turn and good transition on this.
That's pretty good.
I could sell that this week.
I think I took the words out of my mouth. Good shot. Right, very good, Andy. So how can we shallow the transition? So talking of transition, how can we get a shallower transition, assuming they're a little bit steep?
Okay, so shallow transition. So what he's talking about is the shaft angle getting too steep. How can he shallow the golf club so the shaft is coming in more like so? Okay, very simple one, Pierce, to do with the arm. So we're going to get to the top of the golf swing, top of the backswing, and we're really going to focus on what your trail arm does. So in the downswing here, we're really going to feel as if the right elbow squeezes towards your lead elbow. And as you can see, what happens is I squeeze the elbows together, the club shallows out in the downswing, the right elbow is nicely tucked in, and then I can swing through from there. And this squeezing, as you can see there, really just helps that club head drop more behind you in the transition, which is exactly what we want.
Tilts the weight of the club behind you, doesn't it? Okay. Definitely. Shallow the transition then, please.
Okay, so I'm just going to go, so what we'd recommend with doing this is rather than going at super speed, we're actually just going to go slow so you can feel this first and then build up to a pace that's good for you. So I'm just going to hit a soft one down here on the 18th. I think I can still hit a pretty good one though, Pierce.
Yeah, you still get good distance here.
That's really nice.
Hit the ball out of the centre with a good approach to the ball. It's nearly gone as far as the other one you hit.
Really?
Very nice. Right, my turn.
So next question, it's always windy at the Open. Do you have any tips playing in the wind? It is always windy and it's tricky. It does create a problem, Pierce, doesn't it?
And it's windy today. You can see why it's always windy here. So look, you know what it is. You've got to have optimum control of the ball flight. So the first thing we would say is become good at hitting the ball out the centre of the golf club. So be good at hitting the ball out the centre. There's lots of different ways you can work at that. But I think what you need to do is you need to understand how the wind can really obviously push the ball offline. So if you have a crosswind, for instance, you have two options. You either hold up with your shape, so let's say the wind's coming hard off the right here, you play a fade against that wind, that's fine. Now a lot of people fade it out there so you can hit the ball quite straight. But if you're someone who draws the golf ball with a wind off the right, if you're going to play a draw, you need to allow for the wind a lot more. So many times people we see golfers on the golf course not allowing enough for the wind, whether it's a crosswind or into the wind. So when you're into the wind, definitely feel as though you take a little bit of the effort out, reduces the backspin a little bit, gets the ball flying a little bit lower and gives you more control.
Definitely. And one thing that I see golfers struggle with when it is windy is they tend to struggle with the yardages, so they'll go everything, as you mentioned, Pierce, hitting something extremely hard. So I would say practice hitting some soft shots from closer to the green. So taking some of the effort out, hitting some 7-irons from 130 or 120, just having a smoother, controlled swing and actually shortening down a lot. That would come in really useful when you're actually into the breeze.
We were actually speaking to one of the members in the clubhouse here at Birkdale, and he was saying that when Greg Norman nearly won at 1998, when Harrington won, he was hitting driver everywhere. But even into the wind, he was only having 130 yards left on some holes and hitting 7-irons in there. So controlling that ball flight. So like Andy says, get used to hitting shots which can stay low to the ground, but then when there is a side wind, make sure you allow for it.
Definitely. What sort of problems can an overswing cause?
Well, I'll tell you what, playing with an overswing when it's very windy could definitely be a problem. I think, look, you've got to look at some of the best players in the world. They have long swings, what we would term overswings. They obviously do very well with it, but amateur golfers, when they go long, we often see that the structure of the arms and the wrists gets lost, and maybe the sequence of the swing as well, but I'm just going to go on the structure of the arms. So when we swing back and overswing, you can see my trail elbow is sort of sticking out behind me, but the main thing that we see here is the lead wrist has sort of got into a very cupped position. That opens the club face. Then we have to spend a lot of time trying to recorrect the club on the way down. By having an open club face and recorrecting on the way down, we'll often get a very high ball flight and maybe even cutting out to the right. So I think if you are someone who is inconsistent and you have a long swing, shortening your swing wouldn't do you any harm whatsoever. Maybe give it a go for sure. So you can hit good shots, but definitely consider the shorter golf swing. You can see now the structure of my arms around my body, the lead wrist is flat and the right elbow is tucked in a little bit more.
So one question that they might ask from that, Pierce, is would they lose any power having a shorter swing?
Well, what they'll do is they'll probably improve the efficiency of the contact, so they'll get better ball speed because they're having less loft when they're striking the golf ball. They'll have a lower ball flight as well. So actually you may find in a lot of cases you actually improve your distance. Okay. So speaking of distance and improving it.
So controlled, good structure of the arms and wrists here, Pierce, please.
Okay.
And
it's got a lot of carry on it, that has. That definitely, it might be a little bit right. Okay, should we actually go down there and see if we can find that one?
Let's get down there.
Well, we did find my golf ball was a little bit further back there, just on the right-hand side. So we have had a question about hitting out of the rough. So we thought, what better place to do it than about 80 yards, short of the flag, on the 18th, left-hand side. Justin Rose?
Justin Rose, 1998. The flag's in a different location. The flag was tucked behind the bunker for him.
Yeah, it's a bit harder.
So it's a little closer for this shot here, but you know what? It's perfect, isn't it? The ball is sitting down, as you can see, quite deep in the rough there, Pierce. So getting a good contact on this shot is the most important thing. So time and time again, we see golfers struggle with this because their setup and their approach to the shot is a little bit off. So look, first of all, I'm going to go for a lofted club because the way I'm going to set it up to the golf ball, it's going to pop out low, so I need to go up in loft. Now look, first of all, we need a downward strike, more of a downward strike than usual. So I'm going to move the ball back in the stance. I'm going to put weight onto my lead side, and then as I swing back, I'm going to make sure that I have this set in the club. This all is going to help me get this downward strike on the golf ball. I've got a 56 degree here, Pierce, and this ball is going to come out fairly low because it's sitting down, you know, quite deep in the rough there. So if I can just advance this, it's probably going to run on down there today with a bit of breeze behind, but hopefully I can get the club on the back of the ball and get it out and get it on the green. That's the key thing. I
think the key is here, Andy, this is just, obviously this is an 80-yard pitch, but if you had a 200-yard shot, you may well still be using a pitching wedge out of this kind of lie just to make sure you can advance it down the fairway.
So I'm going to land this short because it's firm at the moment, downwind. All I'm going to really just do, ball back, weight left side, and really see if I can just get that.
You got to hold it, you know, yeah? You've got to hold it.
No problem. And you can see I popped the ball out there. It's pitched actually just short of the flag and ran on a bit. But again, I'm out the rough, I'm on the putting surface, and I've got a chance of rolling that in for a 3.
You got a long putt though.
That was my drive, remember?
Yeah. Andy, we're slowly getting towards the hole. A couple more shots left to play here. So we've been asked a lot of questions about chipping, long chip shots. How can I be more consistent? Now at Birkdale, you can have a lot of these sort of swales down into these collection areas, and you can have a long chip shot like you've got here. You've got about 100 feet worth of chip shot here. A lot of people get the sand wedge out straight away. You're going to play different, aren't you?
I am, yeah, and not many people would really even think about this, playing it with a 3-wood or even a hybrid. But the great thing about this shot, first of all, it's going to keep it on the ground, it doesn't get affected by the wind, but also this flat sole makes it quite consistent in terms of a strike as well. We're not going to get any digging in. So if you're maybe unsure or not so good with your chip shots, experiment when you've got a bit of green to work with by using 3-wood and actually getting the golf ball just rolling as fast as we can.
Okay. Apologies about the noise, obviously there's guys putting the stands up here, but we like it around this area here. There's like about 1,000 people watching him play this shot.
So okay, hands down the club on this to play this shot. We're going to stand as close as we can. I'm actually going to soften my arms here as well, a little bit of bend in the arms so I can get a little bit closer. And the key thing is really now from here, light grip pressure and really allowing the club to sort of just bounce across the ground there. Again, that ball's just going to be sort of clipped off the top and get it rolling towards the flag. I've got to take this slope into the account as well, Pierce, because obviously it's going to go along the ground. So aim a little right on this one, soft hands, and let's just sort of bump it up there.
So it is kind of like you have to read it like a putt, don't you?
So that was trying to get there.
It's just such a strong wind there.
Get into the breeze there, but again, the great thing about that is, you know, I didn't get the sort of chance to sort of dig the club in there. The ball's rolling towards the hole, and I reckon no wind that would have got there.
A more consistent way of doing it.
Exactly.
Right then, Andy, one last question. Do we think it's going to be another new major winner? If so, who would it be? And if it is someone who's already won a major, who would that be? So you get two choices.
2 picks. Okay,
Two picks.
so I'm going to go with the. If it's going to be someone who's already won a major, I'm going to go with Garcia. This course would suit Garcia.
Okay.
Okay. And for a newbie, I'm going to go with Justin Thomas. He had a great US Open. Unfortunate last round, but he's knocking on the door. So I think that might sort of spur him on to perform here.
Well, he's picked my Sergio pick, obviously, as I normally pick Sergio. Do you know what? This is going to sound really weird because obviously you've got the major winner and a guy who's done well in the second major. New winner is going to be Ricky Fowler. He's going to win, and he has to because I think for the game of golf that's really good. I'm going to go with major winner already, Brooks Koepka. Why not? Because he is playing amazing golf, or he did when he won at the US Open, on a tough golf course and a very similar golf courses, and I think that's what's made us choose 3 of those 4 guys because the golf course is quite similar to what it was at Erin Hills.
Do you know what? Actually, the big difference with this golf course, it is tighter. The greens are smaller, so it's like a shrunk down version.
It's a mini version,
but
of Erin
definitely
Hills.
very similar.
Yes. Okay, guys. So look, we've got loads of other content obviously for the Open. So make sure you check out that across all of our platforms. And thank you so much for all the questions for the Q&A. So don't
Post
forget,
them for next
post
week.
them down as many as you can. Lots of them. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that. Enjoy the Open this week. And if you're really serious about improving your golf this year, you must click that subscribe button down there.
Yes, definitely. And if you're a beginner or your friends are just learning to play golf, then make sure you check out our website, which is all about beginners for the month of July. Click the link in the corner and start your 30-day free trial today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.